Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Schwarzenegger season and to a film that I don't know how people feel about it now. Underappreciated, underrated, overrated, piece of shit. I don't know, but not one of his more popular ones. And the film is End of Days. 1999, set around, the turn of the millennium, when we're having a millennium bug. Computers were going to crash, planes were going to fall out the sky, and the world was going to come to an end. None of that happened, of course. But this film starts in 1979. The Pope sends a priest to protect a newborn baby who has been marked by these Satanists to be the mother of Satan. She will bear his children. Fast forward to 1999. Arnold is an ex-cop. He's burnt out. He's an alcoholic. He looks rough as shit. But looking rough as shit suits him. He works with his buddy for like a private security firm. They go off and they protect and do security stuff. He's protecting this banker, played by Gabriel Byrne, from this guy that's trying to kill him, a priest. Gabriel Byrne has been possessed by the devil. Arnold chases this guy into the underground, and he spouts off something later on. Finds out that this guy had no tongue, so how could he? This brings Arnold into this mix, and he's got to find out who this guy is, who the girl is, protect the girl at all costs. And I have always liked this one. I will say it's not as good as his others. And it's one of those films that I've seen many times over the years, but I don't remember much of it until as I'm watching it, things come back. But before watching it, I remember the end, the last 10, 15 minutes. I remember a quote by Arnold when he's talking to the devil. You think you know bad? You're a fucking choir boy compared to me. A choir boy! I remember a little bit at the beginning. Everything in between that, no. As I say, when I'm watching it, it all comes back to me. It's got a few special effects in it. The devil himself, great big winged creature. Gabriel Byrne does very good, but I like Gabriel Byrne in a lot of things. But another scene I remember, when this kid on a skateboard runs into him, gives him a hard time, and he rolls off on his skateboard, and Gabriel Byrne just goes, "Hey kid." The kid looks round, gets hit by a bus. So he does a good job. Arnold, a couple times, pretty solid acting. When he's shouting and he's kicking ass and he's shooting guns, that's the Arnold everyone knows. But this is one film that when you're watching it, even though you know the ending, at least me, it's one film where you look at Arnold and think, you've got no chance. You cannot beat the devil. You can't. Whatever you do, you throw him out of a window, comes back. Shoot him in the head, shoot him in the stomach. You can't. How are you going to kill him? And spoilers, I think this is the only film, at least up until this film, I don't know the last couple of years, where the human Arnold, not in a dream, not in an imagination, not a robot, where Arnold actually dies. Because he dies in Terminator and stuff like that, but the first time where Arnold actually dies. And also in it, he gets his arse kicked, he gets thrown about the room by Miriam Margolyes. If you can believe that, that is fun to watch. Some great music. You have, of course, with the devil and stuff, the religious aspect. And I've said it before, I'm not religious. I don't give a shit about all that. If you are religious, that's cool. But I'm not. But you take a horror film and you can elevate a horror film from, that's all right, to that's pretty damn good if you throw religion into it. I don't know why. If you throw religion into an action film, comedy film, a western, space film, no, you throw it into a horror film, and this is a horror film or an action horror, as close as Arnold will get to a horror film, or he got to a horror film, and it adds something. It really does. And there's more action in it than what I remembered, as opposed to usually there's not as much action. Is that right, or should I be backwards? I just thought there wasn't that much action in this, but there was plenty of action. So, and it's 2 hours, just under 2 hours long, 1 hour 50, and it's one of the fastest moving 1 hour 50s that I've had in a long time. So, needless to say, I enjoy it, because if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have it. But that's End of Days, 1999. Robin Tunney is the woman. You could have put anyone as her, to be honest. It doesn't matter if it would have been her, anyone. And for a lot of it, you could have had another actor other than Arnold. It was written for Tom Cruise, first. But if you had an actor that wasn't action based, then you could have toned down the action. But you have Arnold in it, so you crank up the action. But End of Days, I like it. Maybe other people don't, and that's cool. But I've always enjoyed it, and today is no different. So that's it. I'll see you next week.